Hey guys, Heathway here, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to complete the brand new Major Yeshuda J1 League SBC the cheapest and easiest way. As of right now, this will set you back around 180 to 200,000 coins on both consoles, and in return you get yourself one of the most hyped cards on FIFA 18. Cristiano has got a silver card which goes for about 100k, but he's been given an 83 rated SBC card with some insane stats. You get a card with 93 pace, 86 physical, including 99 strength in his in-game stats. I'll show you guys all of those towards the end of the video when we actually unlock the card. He's also got 82 dribbling, 85 shooting, and 80 passing. That's just an insane card. Apart from, obviously, R9 Ronaldo with this icon card, this is probably the best Brazilian striker on FIFA 18 right now. An amazing player, which I would definitely recommend you guys giving a go to. If you do want to see a player review on him as well, just leave a like on the video. If we can smash 200 likes, I'll get that out for you guys tomorrow. And you're also getting 10,000 coins and 18 free packs back from this. So the likelihood is you're going to be able to get at least 50 to 60k back just from those packs alone. So in reality, this SBC will only set you back around 150k, maybe even less if you get lucky in the packs. But I would definitely recommend completing this if you're on the lookout for a Brazilian striker. Obviously you can link him up to loads of great Brazilian players on this game. There aren't too many good cards in the Japanese league, but there are plenty of good Brazilians. So as always, I'm going to go through each of the teams. I'll show you guys all the players I've used, and I'll also make note of any players I've used out of position or who I've position changed, just to save a few extra coins, because as with any league SBC, there are certain teams that just have a few positions where maybe players are quite rare on the market, or they only have one or two players in that position, so they're a little bit too expensive, and you can always save a few coins just with each of the teams. You can maybe save 1 or 2,000 coins. It really adds up overall if you use some players out of position or just position change them. So I'll show you guys all the teams where I've done that. We're going to start off with Albrook's Negita. This is, I believe, the second most expensive team overall. It cost me around 25,000 coins, and you get a premium silver pack in return. So as you guys can see, they've gone with a formation which has a lot of midfielders, and they only have one default attack midfielder, this team. It's a silver card that goes for about 10k. So because of that, you can save a lot of coins by converting players. So I converted a striker down to centre forward and used him right here. I also used a centre mid right here in this attack midfield position, and then I just used a goalkeeper in at cam, and I also used a right mid in at right back as well. So a lot of players out of position, but this will save you a lot of coins overall if you do this. And if you do want to copy me, feel free. These are the players I've used. Bear in mind, pretty much all of them are Japanese or Korean, and I can't pronounce any of their names. So if you are Japanese, I apologise, because I'm probably going to butcher all the names. We start off with Atani in goal. We've then got Kato, Onyo, this guy right here, Horogomo, Homa, Ito, Marita, Hara, Tanaka, and Ronnie finishing off the team. So that one's quite expensive, but we do get a premium silver pack in return. Next up, we've got Cerezo Osaka, and this team right here, as you guys can see, I've used a goalkeeper in at left back just because the left back position, they had some quite expensive players. I could save coins by just going with the goalkeeper. Apart from that though, everyone is in their default positions, and you get a small rare silver players pack in return. So we start off in goal with An Junsu. We've then got Matsuda, Yamachita, Jonijic, Kakaoi, Seguguchi, Sakamoto, Kiyotake, Nishimoto, and Santos. There we go. So I paid for some of these players, I ended up paying a couple of thousand coins, but on the whole with the bronzes, you're not going to pay over 1,000 coins normally, so it's mainly just a few silvers that you'll have to pay a lot of coins for. Next up, we've got another SBC that gives a small prime silver players pack, and this is FC Tokyo. So the players I've used out of position, I used a right back in at left wing back, and that was it really, as you guys can see. So we're going to go through all the players. We start off and go with a Kubu. We've then got Yanagi, Yoshimoto, Yamada, Marakuma, Muyoroya, Tagahagi. I'm just going to show you guys the players. I won't say their names because it's going to take ages, and I'm probably not saying any of them right. Anyway, if you want to just slow down the video, you can pause it, anything like that, if you want to see the exact names I've used. Next up, we've got Gamba Osaka. This was quite an expensive team, I believe, but as you guys can see, I've used a left back and a right back. I think that's just because they only had one right back and they had a few left backs, so the left backs were quite cheap. And I also used a left mid in at right mid too. So going through the team, these are the players I've used. Again, if you want to copy me, feel free. I used pretty much all the cheapest players I could find on the market. When you're watching this, the prices may have changed. There may, for example, be a cheaper centre-back to use, so you don't have to copy me exactly. You can just go through it and try and find cheap centre-backs, as you're sometimes going to just see some cheap deals on the market. Next up, for Haikudo Consadolo, probably not how you say this team, I've used a goalkeeper in at left mid, and that is it for this one. So again, going through the players, you guys can see these are all the ones I've used, and they're all pretty cheap. I mean, under 1,000 coins for pretty much everyone, I think. Yeah, everyone in this team cost under 1k, so quite a cheap one. And again, we're going to get one of those smaller prime silver players packs in return. Next, so we've got Jubileo Iwata. Again, I don't think I said that right. And this team I used a left back and a centre back, also right back in at centre back here. And then I used a couple of defensive midfielders and centre mids in these positions here rather than the default attacking midfielder, just because I believe there's only one cam and he's quite expensive, and because you need a 62 rating for this team and they pretty much only have bronzes, I went with one of these silvers here just to bring up that rating overall, although their centre backs aren't too expensive anyway. Going through the players, you guys can see everyone I've used here, not too expensive. I mean, I was paying, I don't really think you'd think that like 700 coins though is too much for a bronze. Some people may, but for me I don't think that's too expensive anyway. But here we go. Next up we've got Kashima Antlers. This one not too expensive, although you do have quite a few silvers, but they have a lot of silvers anyway on the market, so it's not too expensive. But in a left back I went with a bronze player, and then that was it for this one here. I actually packed quite a few of these players, so I was lucky with that, but I was able to get a lot of these players quite cheaply on the market. As always though with these SBCs, if you see that I've used a certain player, you don't have to use exactly the same card, because you may be watching this in like a month's time and one of the players I've used may be a lot more expensive. There's probably going to be a cheap one you can find on the market, so just make sure you go through and check on the market to find out who there is. Next we've got Kashiwa Reysol. I believe this is the team Cristiano plays for. Luckily I didn't have to use him because he's about 100k on the market. The players I've used out of position though, we've got a goalkeeper in at striker, and that's at that for this one here. So going through again, you guys can see all the players I've used, quite cheap. Again, the silvers will cost you a fair amount. That's just what you'd expect from any of these league SBCs. The bronze is always going to be cheaper, but you're not paying over the odds really. And considering the card you're getting, he's got such good stats. His silver card alone is worth so much that you're getting a much more boosted up version for not too much more than what his silver card is going for. But next up with this team here, Kawasaki Frontale, you can see I've gone with I believe this is a striker converted to centre forward. This I think is the most expensive team out of all of these. Cost me about 28 or 29k. So you've got a converted down striker in at cam. I've gone with an attack midfielder converted to centre mid in at CDM, and then I've gone with a left mid in at left back and a right mid in at right back. Their right backs are like 5k, so just be wary of that. Try and use players out of position. Just overall, this is a really expensive team because they have a lot of silvers and they're always more expensive. But you can see these are the players I've used. The centre backs, they cost me about 4k each, so pretty costly there. But I mean, it's not too bad. Obviously, you are getting that very good player in the end with Cristiano, who, from what I've heard, is very good. But we're going to try him out. Hopefully tomorrow I'll get a player review out on him. Next, so with Amir Algida, you guys can see this is the team I've used. I went with an attack midfielder, striker, and a centre mid at left mid, just because obviously the left mids were quite expensive, and then the strikers, they had a few and they were quite cheap, but none of them were high enough rated to get me the overall rating I need, which is 63. So I went with that silver card in there. So if you want to copy me, feel free. These are all the players I've used. Not too expensive because mainly just bronze players make up this team, and they all cost like under 500 coins, apart from that bronze striker who I had to pay a fair few coins for there. Next up we have got Sagan Tosu, and this team you can see this is the squad I've used. A few silvers, a few bronzes as well. I used a goalkeeper in at striker just to make it a little bit cheaper. We're going through the players again, not too expensive. I mean, I don't think I paid over 1,000 coins for anyone really, apart from that striker there, and that was only 1k anyway, so not too bad. And we get another one of those silver packs in return. And the good thing with silver packs, you never know, you could get someone like Cristiano, Dabo, there's a few centre backs who go for loads, Sisto goes for a lot. There are a lot of silvers that go for a fair few coins on this game. But next up with Sanfrecce Hiroshima, you guys can see this is the team I've used. They have a lot of attacking midfielders, and normally teams that have all these cams go for a lot, but these attacking midfielders didn't really go for too much, so that wasn't the end of the world. But I went with a left mid in at CDM right here, just to get that rating up, as you did need quite a high rating, and because they don't have a player in this left back position, it means you will have to use quite a few high rated players. But I used him, very cheap, and this one is all good. So you guys can again see these are all the prices for these cards, and yeah, not too much in the end. Luckily I packed some of these attacking midfielders. I actually packed 3 of them, which is pretty lucky. But yeah, you guys can see you can still get them off the market quite cheaply as well, I believe. Next, so we've got Shimizu S Pulse, and you get another small prime silver players pack. You get that for pretty much all of these, apart from some of the more expensive ones that give you a slightly better pack. But as you guys can see with this team, I used a goalkeeper in at right mid, and then a left mid in at left back. So that's all for that one. Again, you guys can see the players I've used, not too expensive. All of these teams are around a similar price. They're about 10 to 15k, apart from two of the really expensive ones, which are about 25 to 30k, and they're the two I've mentioned as being extremely costly. Apart from that, you'll find all of these are a pretty similar price. But next up, we've got Uriah Red Diamonds, and for this one here, they have quite a lot of very expensive centre-backs. I think they only have 3 or 4 centre-backs, and obviously you need 3 in this team. And then also their right and left-sided players, you need 2 in each position, or rather you need two in this team, so 2 left wingers or left mids, 2 right wingers or right mids, and they only have like 3 in each of those positions, so they are quite expensive. But I saved some coins by going with a CDM in at centre-back, and then I went with a striker in at centre-mid to get the rating up, as well as you need a 67 rating, which is quite high for a team where you're still going to be using bronzes and only silvers. Apart from that, there's no goals for any of these teams really. I think apart from 2 of them that have gold cards, but yeah, I went with that centre-mid there to get the rating up. But these are the players I've used, and obviously the silvers are going to cost you more than the bronzes. I was paying a fair amount of coins for some of these silvers, but it's not too much in the end. I think this may have been like 15, 16k, something like that, which at the end of the day isn't that bad, obviously bearing in mind the card you get at the end. Next up, we've got Ventforet Kofu, and this team I think was pretty cheap because it's just got a lot of bronzes in. I used a right mid in at centre mid to make it a little bit cheaper, and then I used a left back in at left wing back. I know that's not a big position change, but they do have a default left wing back, and they go for a fair few coins. They're like 1 or 2k, so I just went with the left back, which was a lot cheaper. But again, these are the players I've used because they're bronzes. They're all pretty cheap, under 1,000 coins for all of them, luckily enough for me. And yeah, even the silvers, they were under 1k, so we get a premium silver pack in return. And then we've got Vic Hauser Sendai, there we go, that's how you say that one. And this one I used a load of players out of position because, again, like with that previous team, they have 2 players on the right, 2 on the left. They don't have too many in those positions, so they can be quite expensive. But I went with the right back in at right mid because this team, obviously you don't need any right backs. There isn't a right back position, so if you go with those cards, they're quite cheap. So I went with the right back in at centre back too, and also a CDM in at centre back because they have 3 centre back positions. They only have 3 or 4 centre backs on the game, so it's always going to be costly. I converted these 2 players here into right wingers as well, as they were default left mids. So copying the players, if you want to do that, we've got some pretty cheap cards for the bronzes. None of them cost me too much. I had packed a couple of them, and yeah, I don't think I paid more than 1,000 coins for all but 2 of those players in the team. And the final 2 teams, we've got Vissel Kobe. I believe this seems quite cheap because you've got Podolski, who's going to bring the rating up, one of the few gold players in this league. So I used a just random player in at left back. It's a centre forward. It doesn't matter. You can just use a cheap card basically. The cheapest I could find with this set was this centre forward, so I put him in there. I also used a right mid in at right back, and there we go. That's it for this team here. So going through the players, not too expensive. I think this is another one of those SBCs that will cost you around about that 15k mark, maybe a little bit less. You can try and snipe these cards. I mean, I just did this SBC quickly. I did it all at once in about an hour or so, but if you do it over time, you can snipe players, you can get deals, and you can do this SBC a lot cheaper. We finish off with the final team, and that is Yokohama F Marinos. And for this one, I used a right mid in a right back and a left mid in a left back. That was it. Just with teams like this where they don't actually have a left or right mid, they're always going to be cheaper, so you can use them in these positions here. It's the same with, for example, the 3 at the back teams. You can get really cheap right backs, and you can play them centre back and save a few extra coins. So if you want to copy me, these are all the players I've used. Pretty cheap. I think these silver cards, I packed some of them, but you'll be able to get a lot of them very, very cheaply on the market anyway. And there we go. That's the final one. Again, we're going to get a silver pack in return. I think we only got silver packs from this SBC, but that completes it. There we go. The Japanese League SBC is complete, and that gives this Cristiano card. Look at those stats. We're going to look at the in-game stats right now. I think he's got some very, very good ones. So he's actually 6 foot tall as well. Looking at the attributes, 93 acceleration, 93 sprint speed, also 83 finishing, 93 shot power, 87 long shots. Pretty good there. He's got good crossing, great free kicks, good curve as well. Only 64 composure, which isn't the best, but he's got the good finishing and shot power to make up for that. Good ball control, dribbling, and agility. Not the best balance, but I mean, even Ronaldo doesn't have good balance, and he's got the 93 strength to make up for that, as well as the great pace. Decent heading accuracy, decent stamina, and obviously the 99 strength. That is probably the standout stat on this card. So if you guys do want to play a review on him, I can definitely do that in the next couple of days. As said in the intro, smash 200 likes and I'll get that out for you guys tomorrow. But we've got a load of packs to open. Let's go and get them open. So I doubt we're really going to get anything in these packs. I'm just going to skip through them because there aren't really going to be any drop downs. At least I don't think there will be anyway. You never know. I think there's actually a man of the match card who is a gold, but he's got a default silver card, which means that I could potentially pack him in one of these, but I highly doubt that's going to happen. I think you can actually get drop downs too from people like Cristiano and Dabo, I think, as well, and maybe some other silvers. I think there's a centre-back who plays in the Eredivisie who's like 25k or so. And there are actually some silver cards who play for, I think it's Lille, maybe Saint-Etienne, one of the teams in France that go for loads. They're like, I think on PlayStation, one of them is a right mid who's Dutch. He goes for like 80k, which is insane for a silver. I think on Xbox he's a bit cheaper. Their centre-backs also go for like 30 or 40k. There are some very, very expensive cards. Van Beek may be one of them. I mean, there are a lot of cards that sell for a lot just because of League SBCs too, so it's always good to keep an eye out on those. These cards here may go for a bit just because there are League SBCs there. I'm going to try and complete a lot more of these in the future, so definitely going to do MLS, the Russian League 2, the Liga NOS, all of those leagues there. I'll be doing those in the near future, so I'll get a lot more packs from those. And obviously opening these packs here, I'm getting loads of players that are going to be useful for those. I actually got a ton of silvers in that pack there, so it's always useful to get cards like this because I can just store them in my club, use them for a future League SBC. And obviously if I get maybe like what other leagues are there? The Belgian League, maybe that's probably going to have an SBC soon. If I get a card from that league, I can just keep him in my club. It's going to be an investment. I can sell him for a future SBC. But we actually got Berahino in that pack. We got a gold card, which isn't something you always see. But I think a few people have been getting like decent gold cards. We get another one there with Simeone. I've seen people get some pretty good gold cards in these packs. We get Flint there, championship player. Doesn't go for much, even though there is a championship SBC. Flint's actually a pretty good player in real life. Saw him play against Man City in the was it the League Cup? Yeah, I think it was the League Cup, not the FA Cup, but he scored a goal in it as well. We get Schlutz. This guy I think goes for a fair few coins. I think he's one of those expensive silvers. Yeah, like not that much, but nearly 2k. Not too bad. There's actually a Bundesliga SBC as well, so he may go for a bit. I should probably keep an eye on that. I don't want to be discarding any players that may go for a fair few coins. We get Mitroglou there, another gold card. Wow, these packs are decent because you get so many rares. Like, I'm sure people like My Hill, maybe this guy here, I'll send him over to the transfer list. Actually, I should probably keep him because I will be completing the SBC in the near future. But these packs are good because you get one gold player, and everyone that you get is rare. So you've got a good chance of potentially getting someone who could be useful for an SBC, could go for a lot of coins. So this one here, that's the card I used in one of these SBCs, so I'll send him straight over to the transfer list. And this guy, I think, goes for a fair few coins. Yeah, there we go. That's the first kind of like properly expensive silver we've got. He's about 8k. He's had his price range increase a load. But yeah, there we go. That's decent. That's what I'm talking about. You can get a lot of coins back from these SBCs. And we have, I think there's a pack that does give some golds guaranteed back there. These ones here can give you bronzes, they can give you golds because I think you're guaranteed 6 silvers. And no, you're guaranteed 5 silvers and you get 6 players in the pack. But we got some Super League players there. We've just got cards that could go for a bit. I'm going to go through my club and just clear out any silvers that I haven't used in SBCs, for example, from the Japanese League or the Eredivisie. That's another one I've done. But I do want to complete a lot more of these League SBCs, just kind of collect the cards really. Get a Bundesliga left back. We get a left winger. Nothing really there. I'm on the lookout for any really expensive silvers, but I think a lot of League SBCs will be quite cheap in the coming kind of couple of days, just because of all the people completing this SBC are going to get a lot of silvers, which may end up selling for a lot. We get a centre back from Rangers. We get Fry, who may sell for a bit. We get Janko. Does he sell for much? I've done the Liga SBC already, so I don't need to keep those cards. I'll sell him there. He might sell. But I'm stocking up with cards here in my club that will be useful in the future. And we're going to finish with the packs that give, I think all of these give some rare gold players. So we stand the chance of getting maybe a drop down, something like that. You never know. We could get something big and get some coins back. Well, I'm pretty pleased with these packs because of the fact they give you loads of silvers, and this is so useful for all the League SBCs I'm going to do. So this is definitely a good one to start off with before getting into the Russian League and all those other ones there. But this card does look really good. I am looking forward to giving him a go. I will definitely get that player review out on him. I've seen Marshall's player review where I think he gave him like an 8 out of 10, something like that. But he just looks like he's got a crazy card. I mean, he's a complete striker really, apart from the skill moves. Get 2 decent goal players in that one. But he's so strong, quick, good finishing, good dribbling. Looks very, very good. We're going to finish though with these 2 packs here, which give, I think you get, 6 rare players, and you get six cards in the pack. So yeah, you stand a chance of getting some really, really good players. What does this guy go for? Thought he was gonna. I saw the first one for 6k. Thought he was gonna go for a lot, but no, apparently not. Liga Bancoma MX player. What does this guy go for? Because there is a league SBC for this league. Not that much, but I'll sell him for. Let's go with that. See if he sells there. And we're gonna finish with the final pack, and that is the small mixed rare players pack. You get a few of these throughout this SBC. Can we finish? We get a drop down. I was gonna say, can we finish on a drop down? We do. Be someone big. Poland. Right back. Gets a piss check. Could have actually been Lewandowski. There's only like other 3 Polish players. I think there's Glick as well. So there we go. That's the final pack. We get a drop down. So out of 18 packs, we've got 1 drop down, but we got some silvers who went for a fair few coins. A lot of silvers that I will use in League SBCs in the future. But anyway, hope you guys did enjoy. Leave a like. As I said, I think twice now in this video, if you want to see a player review tomorrow on Cristiano, whether I think he's worth it or not, definitely leave a like. 200 likes, I'll get that out for you guys. Also, if this video did help you guys out, or if you're new around here, if you could subscribe, that would be much appreciated. But anyway, hope you guys did enjoy, and I'll catch you later. Take care.